I have accepted a new job.
Whoa, really?
Yes, I have been recruited by a top secret agency to go undercover and save the world.
You're gonna be a spy?
That's right, baby. Crew's back in the game with gadgets and weapons and cool cars, the whole deal.
Awesome!
Are you really gonna save the world?
Yes, yes, I am.
Luca! Echo! Papadum? Eh?
So this is chapter 2 in this conversation. I caught up with you for Despicable Me 1, and we talked about how this was like going to school for you, like learning this whole process. So now they're coming back for the second one. What were you able to build on from your first experience doing composing and stuff, and to this one?
I tried to, I allowed the songs to be inspired by like different aspects of different characters. Whereas this time, I think I spent more time being inspired by the through line of this film. Yeah. So this time it was more about like the air and the space in the film,
right?
And the emotion and the intent of like the writers versus, pulling inspiration from the characters. And I honestly, I feel like it feels like I love the first one, but I appreciated my work on the first one.
Yeah.
I love my work on this one.
Well, I loved your work on the first one, so I'm sure, like, from what I've seen so far, I've seen some of the songs come back, like Pretty Girl and everything else.
Yeah.
I love this one also.
Thank you.
So great job. Working with a team, Hans and everybody else, how's it different to turn in music for a movie than, say, to turn in music like we're working on a collaboration with Jay-Z and you turn it in for a track? Like,
There's not much difference. You have agenda. You have like really specific directives that you get from the director and from the music department, the people who are supervising, and you just have to follow the task, but at the same time just like continue to just be creative and be inspired by what they have.
Right. Now Gru, I mean, at the end of the day, Gru is he's a ex-villain, but he's like a great father. What do you think is like the best thing about Gru's character in Despicable Me as it relates to his kids?
I loved Gru's he was incredibly honest, and he reminds me of various friends of mine, their parents, the real honest ones.
Yeah.
The people who just say whatever's on their mind at the moment, and under their breath, it's always really good. Yeah, that dry humor, I love that.
Now, you've done a lot of stuff, Billionaires Boys Club, the Nerd, NERD, and everything else. But now you have a new venture with I Am Other, and I see you like doing interviews with Nardwuar and everybody else.
Sure.
How is that experience putting on the journalist hat and doing interviews and also doing this new media revolution with YouTube and I Am Other?
I wouldn't consider myself a journalist. There are people who study for years and become super great at it, and then there are others who are just naturals. I would be neither of the two. So I wouldn't call myself a journalist. I think I've tried to get in where I fit in when it comes to the journalistic aspect of I Am Other and Artist Talk, I think you're referring to. But Artist Talk, for me, was a learning experience. It's like my own personal crash course in like different subject matter that I want to learn from the experts in their various fields. So it was a way for me to just sort of learn things really quickly, like a cliff-noted version of education. And I thought it just would be interesting. The creator of the show and myself thought it would be interesting just to see the alchemy, just between treating things more like a conversation versus journalism. And then with I Am Mother, the entire umbrella is just basically, it's not necessarily a new movement. I think, if anything, we've just tried to centralize what already existed. There are people and kids who feel like they don't fit in a box. And we felt like we would just like create a collective, if you will, of bringing those people who thought the same way together. You know, we don't fit in a box. If we were to go do an application, you know, they ask you a million questions, and then there's that ambiguous other.
Yeah.
And honestly, there's nothing ambiguous about us. Like, we're very clear as to who we are. We just don't want to be put in a box.
Well, I applaud you, brother. All your work on this film is
Thank
great.
you. Thank you.
Your music's been great.
Thank you.
Keep on following you. Keep on doing whatever you do, bro.
Listen, man, it's Universal Pictures and Universal NBC and, you know, Illumination and Chris Meledandri. Those are the guys that, you know, Chris Renault and all those guys. Those are the ones. I'm Charlie. I got the lucky candy bar.
They had to be smart enough to pick you, though, bro.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.